Howdy. What is going on, guys? Today we are doing another Death Note theory / what if, and we're going to be doing a what if L and Light had swapped places from Death Note. And now this one's an interesting one because we'll have to do terms and conditions as well. And now we're going to give them both the same resources. L is just going to be the smartest student in the whole of Japan. He's still going to come from the same orphanage he came from, and same with Light. He's still going to have the same family and personality traits, but he's just going to be the smartest detective in the world. And now with the rules out of the way, I think we're ready to dive in. But before that, like, subscribe, and subscribe to Marcus YRF, the GOAT. But anyway, let's get into it. I think exactly like Light did, I think L would also go for the notebook after the lesson because of his curiosity. As we can see in the show, he's very curious about the notebook and overall just a very curious individual. But this is where I think it alters slightly. So I think L would probably be a lot more hesitant to use the Death Note, but I think he would ultimately go through with the plan because we've seen him sacrifice people like L Tailor, which I mean was a death row inmate, but if he's willing to sacrifice him, he'd probably go through with the notebook. Now, I'm not 100% sure how this interaction would go, but it would probably go something like this. So, now that he's done a few kills, the Shinigami known as Ryuk would probably pop up, and he would probably be terrified like he was in this scene after finding out about Shinigami's existence, because he was, bugging out in this scene because he found out Shinigamis exist. So, he'd probably react a similar way to how he did here. And although I think he would be hesitant to work with Ryuk at first, I think they would eventually work together. But I feel like L would probably be more persistent to not kill the good. But I mean, Light was, but he didn't pursue it all the way. So I think L would do a better job of that. Now for L Tailor, I don't think L would be that stupid enough to fall for it. So obviously I think he wouldn't have went through with it, but that would just be too easy and I feel like that would end the video too quick. So I'm going to go the scenario he did kill L Tailor, and I'll say that's more of a suitable route, although I think L would probably not kill him and avoid that. Also, the whole of the Ray Penber saga, that won't be included because obviously L will not get hunted by Ray Penber because he hasn't got any connections to the police at this point. He's just a regular dude, and his father's not a police officer, so he would not get investigated by Ray Penber, so that would cut out that whole arc pretty much. Now, we're moving over to Light. I feel like Light in L's place would probably do the same thing as him. He would probably set up a decoy, so nothing's really changed there. I still feel like he would probably stick with the same thing L did, because this is quite a smart move. So now we jump to where Light will finally meet L, because we cut out the whole Ray Penber arc. And I think the reason Light will probably come to L is mainly because of his insane wealth, and also because he's the #1 student in Japan at this point, and he'll probably need funding for his investigation since he hasn't got the wealth L had in the main timeline. He's still his same personality, and he doesn't have the resources L has. So I think he'll come to him because he has all that, and also he's the smartest student in Japan, so he'll definitely want his help on the team. So that's why I think Light will go to L. Like the original, I think Misa would still be in the story quite significantly because she would still trying to find out who the real Kira is, which you would find out L is the real Kira, and they wouldn't get into a relationship, but they would become close allies, I would say. But most likely L would probably use her like Light did to get what he wanted. I think a lot like Light did, L would also manipulate her to get his own way because she just genuinely is a problem and in the way half the time. She's only really good for her eyes, so I think L would probably try and use her to get Light's real name and kill him off. I think since L is funding all of the investigation, I think he would install cameras in some of the parts of the place so he can make Watery view them and watch Light and see if they can get a good understanding of his IQ and intellect, because at this point they don't actually know how smart he is. On top of that, they'll probably try and want to get a photo of Light so they can give it to Misa so she can tell L his real name and they can kill him off. Now, I don't think Light would invite L into the investigation unless he knew he was certain he was innocent, and in this case, I think he wanted to invite him to get closer to him to make sure he wasn't Kira, because in my opinion, I feel like he would have done some research about him, since L would not have told Light a fake name, because he would have no reason to tell him a fake name. So he would flat out just tell him his real name, giving Light time to research him and discover who he is. I think Light would also probably have quite a little bit of suspicion of L as well, just because how smart he is, how wealthy he is, and how he's the smartest student in Japan. So he would probably be suspicious because no other person could pull a thing of this scale. Now, how I think the ending would actually play out. So I think Light and L would hire Ray Penber and his wife to enter the investigation, since in this timeline they aren't dead so early. And I think they would send one of them to try and find out who Kira is, which in this case is going to be Misa, because she's doing all the killings while L's at HQ. Since we've skipped so far ahead, I do think Light would definitely have suspicions about L, so he would probably send one of them without L knowing to go spy and keep tabs on L and see what he's doing at all times. But luckily, I think Watari would know about this, and he would make sure L knows as well. And I think at some point L would probably lead her to an isolated location so Watari could take her out. But I think Light will know, because she'll probably have like a body cam on or something, and I think Light will find out that L is Kira, but before he can do anything, he will die. And the reason I think this is because Misa will be propped up at an obvious location planned by L, and L will give Misa the name of Ray Penber so she can take him out while he arrives. And I think this is the point Light will realise there are two Kiras. And then forced into a situation, Rem would have to kill Light, because Misa would probably die after getting discovered she was Kira. She'd probably be executed, so she has no other choice but to kill Light. And now what L would do is L would frame Misa into being Kira, because nobody knows there's two Kiras, only Light knew that. And Misa would be found out by everyone that she was Kira, and she would get framed by L. And he would take away her death note, so she would pretty much forget all her memories and make her forfeit her death note, so she would have no evidence to provide to the police, and then she would probably get executed soon afterwards. And now guys, we are coming to the end of the video, but I just wanted to say I could not come up with a long script. That's why the video is cut down and some parts are cut out, and maybe the ending seems rushed to you or not correct. It's because I would have to spend months and months preparing a really good script for this, but I came up with the best I could in the time I had. So I do thank you guys for watching this video, and if you guys do enjoy my Death Note videos, make sure to like, subscribe, and I will catch you in my next video, which will probably be soon, hopefully.